Golly, I just love the way this car freaking sits. What's up, you guys? Today, we're in my 1987 Toyota Supra Turbo. And this thing, while it may not be the fastest car I have, certainly checks a lot of boxes for me. Mainly because it makes all the right sounds. But also, it's a very comfortable car to drive. Now you might wonder, Billy, why are we in the Supra? What happened to the Z? I mean, well, you should know what happened to the Z, but if you don't, it blew up. Look, guys, a two-piece crankshaft. So with that, obviously, there's gonna be a little bit of a waiting game with parts. So, fortunately, I have other cars I can be driving, which is exactly what we're doing now. Basically, in this video, I have a lot to catch you guys up on because I've been focusing on the 300ZX a lot, but that doesn't mean that other stuff hasn't been going on in the background. And while some of it you can probably tell within the videos, but I have really been heavily reinvesting into myself, into my future, and into this YouTube channel. What you guys are getting with this channel is hopefully a lot of good information about 300ZX stuff and your own project builds, whatever that may be. However, from my side of things, what you are watching is literally a man's life unfold in front of you. And I would like to include with this channel so much good information to benefit you guys in return. I don't want it to be just a vlog or anything like that. I want it to really help somebody out. We're going to be discussing a lot of different things in this video, but I'm sure a lot of it you guys will be really excited to see, and you can kind of see where I'm going with it for the most part. So stick around till the end. I'm definitely going to include the projection of the 300ZX in this video, along with some of the parts that I've already ordered and what the game plan is for the car itself. But first, I have a very big surprise to show you, and when I mean big, I mean big. But for now, I'm going to decompress and I'm going to enjoy this beautiful Sunday morning drive in my old Toyota. So since we're in the Supra, I guess we can start with it. So think of it like this. It is 1990. You bought a lightly used Mark III Toyota Supra. However, in 1990, you have standalone ECUs available to you, and you have E85 available to you, and modernized turbos. See where I'm going with this? So what happens when you just push ethanol through a stock motor, stock turbo Toyota Supra? So the very first thing I'm gonna do for this car is a standalone. So basically we got the ECU, which I guess you could say it's on its way. And then the turbo is going to be a factory CT26, but we're going to modify it. Basically, I have a very good friend of mine who runs a turbo rebuild / modification company. Many of you in the Supra community have probably heard of him before, but we'll worry about that when it gets to that time. But he's basically going to rework my CT26 to be essentially a 60mm turbo with a billet compressor wheel, and it should make all the right noises and make awesome power. Did I mention it'll sound good? This motor already has the ARP head studs done. I want to say the oil pump has been shimmed. This car is going to be, it already is a blast to drive. I just want a little bit more power to it, put a little bit more pep in its step, you know what I mean? But that's enough for the Supra. Let's get home and I'll show you guys the big surprise I got waiting for you. Golly, I just love the way this car freaking sits. It looks so freaking good. I really just, I can't get enough of it. It looks good, not gonna lie. It's not a Z, but the Mark III Supra kind of checks all the boxes. Flip up lights, SSQV blow valve, turbocharged, 5-speed. Wait a second, we got a truck. This is my big surprise, y'all. This is a 2006 Ford F350. It is a 6-liter Power Stroke. Now, I know what y'all are thinking. If you know anything about the 6-liter at all, yes, I have another vehicle that is known for blowing head gaskets. Like the Supra, when I bought it, this one has all the deletes and it's been bulletproofed. It's ready to go. I've actually known about this truck for probably 5 or 6 years. It was sitting in my buddy's backyard for the last 2 years. They used it as a shop truck for a while, but they closed down the shop and it was just sitting. So he offered it to me and I couldn't pass it up. So we got ourselves now a tow rig, a work truck, something to pull the cars when they break down, because inevitably when you're doing stuff like this, it's gonna freaking happen. It's got a intake on it, it's got an SCT tuner, it's got a full exhaust. This thing sounds sweet. This is my first ever 4-door automatic diesel truck. Do I need to go on from here? You get the picture. This is so far out of the ordinary from me, just with the fact that every single car I've ever owned has been manual transmission, 2-door, JDM car. I've never owned a domestic vehicle, I've never owned a 4-door, and I've never owned an automatic vehicle. So this kind of is totally out of left field, but you know what? It's needed. The truck actually already has 300,000 miles on it. It does have its issues because, again, I got it for really cheap. It needs a new oil cooler. The one on it is currently gummed up. It's not cooling the oil. And the way it works is it actually has coolant flow through it. So the coolant, in essence, then starts to overheat. And also, the front cover is leaking coolant, so I got to pull the front cover off as well. So basically, we're going to be doing that here soon. But I'm going to go ahead and start up for you guys because it is, in fact, a running, driving 6-liter. I love it. This thing sounds so cool. Let me see if it'll start. Yeah, check this thing out. I just need a work truck that I can beat up, not really care too much about. I can throw stuff in the back. I can tow with it all day long. Not gonna be an issue. Really excited about this thing, honestly. It's gonna take some work. I've been slowly disconnecting electrical components on this thing because it's got a very slow electrical draw. Pretty fast, actually. It's about 500 milliamps, which is a lot. Should be about 50 milliamps. So slowly disconnecting stuff. I think I might actually start at the radio here soon because it's pretty serious draw. But let's go ahead and close this up and then we'll go for a ride. So let's just close that. Oh yeah, front grill's a little cockeyed too. As you can see, the bracket that actually holds that on is broken. But we got aftermarket headlights, turn signals, side lamps, rear tail lights. Pretty sure that's aftermarket tail lights. I don't know. All right, so for the interior, I think it actually has aftermarket gauges or lights or something. There's something unusual about it. AC is questionable. I don't think it's actually working right now. There's probably a slow leak in it somewhere. Seats are actually in pretty good shape. We have a back seat, full back seat. Interior looks perfect for the most part. The dash, the instrument cluster itself, I'm pretty sure has been swapped out from another truck at some point. It does have a tuner on it, which is really cool. It is just a literal plug and play SCT tuner. So we got coolant temp, engine oil temperature. This is basically what I need to monitor for the engine oil cooler that's overheating. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. It's almost up to temperature right now. Just gonna take you around the block for you, let you hear some of the cool spoolie noises from the turbo, and we'll be right back. Makes really cool spoolie noises. I'm about it. Anything with a big turbo? Yeah. Chooching away, guys. It's a little out of character for me, not gonna lie. I mean, obviously I'd much rather a nicer, newer truck, but this would definitely get the job done. All right, a 300,000 mile truck. A little bit of a tune to wake her up. Sounds good, right? Runs good, it's strong. For the price I paid for it, I'm more than willing to spend a couple $100 for the parts that need to be replaced. Also, it came with an oil cooler. If you don't know about these trucks, I'm fairly certain that the engine oil cooler is actually discontinued. You can't buy them from Ford anymore. What I'm gonna do is replace the one that's currently in there and then take the one that's in there, clean it out so I have an extra just in case, because they are known for gumming up. But it's a tow rig. Now I can get a trailer. I can tow my cars to the track, or if something breaks, I'm not as worried about it. I can tow my cars across state. It's a diesel. 300,000 miles on a diesel is like 150,000 on a gas car. Realistically, this is what needs to be reliable for me. So we're gonna try our best to keep it that way. All right, guys, well, that's gonna do it. I freaking love this thing. Truck runs good, sounds good. This is gonna be my project for another day, probably this week actually. So if you're not subscribed and you wanna see 6-liter Power Stroke content too, might as well hit the like button, because we're doing one of the most basic things you can do to one of these trucks. Well, basic maintenance items is coming up probably in the next video. So sorry for everyone that wants to see Supra and Z content, but we've got a truck that we got to take care of now too, because we need a good running, reliable tow rig. To be honest, I've never worked on a diesel truck before in my life. Not officially. I've helped out here and there, tinker with stuff here and there, but I've never actually worked on a diesel truck before in my life. So I'm gonna dive headfirst into this one. All right, so with the truck out of the way, I have been pretty much fully investing into myself, into my future. And with that, we got the truck, but there are a few things that have to come with the truck, and that's gonna be a trailer eventually, because we're gonna need a tow rig, which we have, and a trailer to tow the car. So the trailer is the next thing on the list. We'll get one eventually. I'm not pushing for it just yet, because I'm not taking anything out to a track. I'm not doing anything like that right now. In the near future, as this channel progresses and time goes on, yes, 100%. For the last like 5 years or so, I've been saving up slowly but surely with rewards points and all sorts of stuff to get a welder. And that time has finally come. I'm sure you guys have probably noticed it in the back of some of my videos, but I finally picked up a Prime Weld TIG 225 welder. They have awesome reviews. The company's supposedly really great. I have another reason as to what really pushed me to the edge to get this, which I'll explain here in a minute. That it does AC or DC TIG, it'll pulse. It has all sorts of settings on the front. I'm not even familiar with all of them, but it'll do 110 or 220. The reviews on this machine have been the best for years, and that's kind of what I set my heart on, and that's what I ended up getting. Also, I realized after buying this that I don't even have a true MIG welder. The TIG welder, I primarily plan on doing aluminum, primarily really thin, fine gauge aluminum with that. The TIG welder is an Arc Captain MIG. I think this is a 200, if I remember correctly. Each of these machines are over 200 amps, which should be more than enough for what I plan on doing here in the future. The fact that I have them at least is massive for me, because I've been wanting welders for, I don't know, at least probably 10 years now. If you know anything about welders, you know the machines are not really cheap. It's certainly not a simple thing to get into, and it takes a lot of time to learn and practice. Okay, so what really pushed me over to the edge to get the welders was, it's really unfortunate. It was, it's my CRX. And honestly, if you look right here, we got some cancer, and it's not good. There are spots like this on the other side too. The only thing that makes me nervous about this is the fact that it's right near the gas tank. A little bit questionable, but I think we'll be able to do it. I essentially want to just chop it out and weld in all new steel, because I cannot have rust. I hate rust. This entire door panel is going to get replaced, so I'm not really too worried about that. Maybe some of y'all can chime in and give me a few tips and pointers on how to do this effectively. The CRX does still run. It runs a little rough, but I've been fighting with the ECU in it, and ultimately what I want to do is get rid of the Honda and switch over to a standalone in the CRX as well. She's a ripper when she's running good. It's a constant struggle with that car, honestly. Now, many of you have been asking me, well, what's going on with the Z now? What are you gonna do with the motor? Now you have to source a new motor. What are you gonna do for parts, this, that, and the other? Guys, got it all figured out. We've got it all sorted out. I have a spare motor. Not worried about that. For the machine shop I'm gonna use, I am probably about an hour and 30 minutes away from Orlando or Mazworks machine shop. Now in that area is another machine shop. I'm not gonna put the name out there just yet, but if you wanna watch one of my older videos with Devil Z, I'll put the link down below. He used the same machine shop that I'm going to be bringing my motor to. I'm going to be utilizing pretty much identical parts with pretty much an identical build, at least as far as the bottom end goes. The heads are going to be the same, turbos are definitely going to be the same, but the bottom end is going to be pretty much identical. Now he's pushing 1,300 horsepower through his bottom end, which gives me very high hopes, gives me a lot of confidence with the shop. So that's where I'm going to be sending mine to, and we're going to be getting just pretty much the works done. With that, we've got Milner Technologies. These are Milner rods. These are some beefy boys. They're the same exact rods that he is currently using. And no more Wiseco pistons, as we are going with the big dogs. We got CP Carrillo, and then also some upgraded wrist pins. Unfortunately, the main caps are not here yet, so those are still on order. They're in the mail, but that's pretty much the rundown on the bottom end. As for the heads, I'm pretty much just going to be shoving in another set of OEM intake valves, as they seem to work well even when they are bent, because the last thing we want is a valve that not only bends but also snaps and then rattles around in the cylinder and destroys everything. So there are going to be a couple other additions to this motor which I will be doing that I'm just going to leave for a surprise, and I may or may not explain to you guys later on, but that's kind of where we're going with it right now. I'm freaking excited. I'm really pumped about this. I've already made contact with the machine shop, getting it all squared away right now. We are in the works. We are setting everything in motion. Glad you guys are here for it, because you are literally watching a man's life unfold before you, and we are growing and developing this YouTube channel and this platform and so much other stuff, because next year is going to be huge. 2025 is going to be a massive growth for me, not only for this YouTube, but also just for my life in general and what I got going on here. Now, if you'll come with me over to here, you will see this little shed, and then all the way over, there's a tree missing right there. So this is the start of what will eventually be the shop, because those two trees are getting taken out. Shop's gonna go all the way up to here and run all the way across to there, to the edge of the asphalt. Got a lot of work ahead of me. Gotta move this shed, gotta cut 2 more trees down, gotta break up some asphalt, gotta pour the concrete, and then we're gonna get the shop put up. If you guys have been following me for a while, I know many of you have been here, and thank you so much for every single one of you that engage with the channel and comment and everything, because that is such a huge motivation for me to keep going with this channel. It's not easy. YouTube takes a lot of time, and it's heavily underrated. If you've ever tried making a video yourself, I know I've motivated a lot of people to jump on YouTube and start doing their YouTube. It's pretty cool and quite humbling. I just want to say thank you to every single one of you that have reached out. We've got an engine build going on, gonna have a shop build going on, gotta move a shop, gotta fix some rust repair, gotta clean this thing up, fix the oil cooler, fix the front cover, and then by then it should be all right. It doesn't sound like much, but it's quite a bit. I just need to really get my thoughts out there, put it on paper, or in a video rather, just to let you all know the direction of the channel and where we're going. I'm literally reinvesting everything I have and everything I am back into this place, myself, the YouTube channel, everything I can. 2025 is gonna be it for us. Hope you all enjoyed this one. We'll see you next time.